Did the economy quietly force everyone into side hustles? Everyone online seems to be saying the same thing right now. You need a side hustle. Your job isn't enough. Multiple streams of income. And with inflation rising and everything feeling more expensive, that message sounds convincing. But here's the question nobody seems to ask. Do you actually need a side hustle? Or are we all just reacting to pressure? Because the truth is a little more complicated than the internet makes it sound. And today I want to talk about that. For a long time, one job was supposed to be enough. You worked, you paid your bills, you saved a little money, and you built a stable life over time. But that equation has started to change. Housing costs are higher, groceries cost more, insurance costs more, and even basic things like utilities and transportation feel heavier on the budget than they used to. So people started looking for another lever to pull. And that lever became the side hustle. Driving for rideshare, selling online, freelancing. For some people, that meant starting small service businesses like car detailing or residential cleaning. Others began reselling items online or flipping furniture from Facebook Marketplace. And some simply picked up weekend event work, catering, staffing events, or assisting photographers just to bring in extra income. And in some cases, those side hustles became real businesses. But something interesting also happened. What started as a financial strategy slowly turned into a social expectation. If you spend time on social media, you've probably seen it. Videos telling you you're wasting time if you only have one income stream. Or, if you're not building something on the side, you're falling behind. And that messaging can make people feel like they're doing something wrong if they're just working their job. But there's a problem with that mindset. Because not every side hustle actually improves your life. Some of them just make you more tired. You work all day, then you work all night. And after a few months, you're exhausted. But the extra money isn't life-changing. So the real question isn't, should everyone have a side hustle? The real question is, what problem are you actually trying to solve? When you strip away the hype, most people start side hustles for one of three reasons. 1. Income pressure. This is the most straightforward reason. Your paycheck isn't covering everything comfortably, so you look for another source of income. This is practical. And in some situations, a side hustle genuinely helps stabilize your finances. But it works best when it's intentional and manageable, not chaotic. 2. Income diversification. Some people start side hustles not because they're struggling, but because they want more security. If one job disappears, they still have another source of income. This mindset became much more common after layoffs, economic shocks, and uncertainty in different industries. For these people, a side hustle isn't just about money, it's about risk management. 3. Curiosity and independence. And then there's a third reason that's less about survival and more about possibility. Some people simply want to build something of their own. They want to see if they can create income without asking permission. That curiosity has created a lot of interesting businesses over the past few years, but even here, it's important to stay grounded. Because not every experiment needs to become a full-time second job. Side hustles can create income, but they also create trade-offs. Time, energy, attention. When your schedule becomes work, side hustle, sleep, repeat, something eventually gets squeezed out. Family time, rest, health, or the mental space you need to think clearly. And sometimes the most valuable thing you can do financially is protect your energy, not maximize every hour. Because the truth is, not every season of life is meant to be optimized for maximum income. Some seasons are meant for stability. So when does a side hustle make sense? Here are 3 situations where it can genuinely help. First, when it solves a specific financial gap. If an extra few $100s a month removes constant pressure from your budget, that can be meaningful. Second, when it builds a skill or asset that grows over time, something that compounds instead of just trading more hours for more dollars. And third, when it's flexible enough that it doesn't destroy your schedule. A good side hustle should support your life, not replace it. Instead of asking, Do I need a side hustle? Try asking something slightly different. What would make my financial life feel more stable right now? For some people, the answer really is a second income stream. For others, it might be simplifying their budget, reducing financial pressure, negotiating higher pay, or building savings. The internet often treats side hustles like a universal solution, but the right solution depends on your situation. Side hustles aren't good or bad, they're tools. And like any tool, they work best when you know exactly what you're trying to build. Sometimes that's extra income, sometimes it's security, and sometimes the best financial move isn't adding more work, it's building a system that makes your life feel a little calmer. Because stability isn't about doing everything, it's about doing the right things. If this conversation about financial pressure and stability resonated with you, watch this next. Why saving money feels harder than it should. Because the real challenge for most people isn't discipline, it's the system they're trying to operate inside. I'll see you there.